In this video, we're going to talk about course completion tracking. And this is a great way to give the students an option of kind of keeping track of what they participated in, what they've met the criteria for, and what they have left to do in the course. So, step one, I'm going to go under Settings for the course. I'm going down to Completion Tracking and say Yes. And I typically like to show these completion tracking conditions that shows the students what they have to do in order to count that as completed. Next, I'm going to turn editing on in the class, and I'm going to start giving some conditions to different activities. So this is a quiz, so I'm going to go under Settings and go down to Completion Tracking. And I'm going to say this is completed. Since this is a quiz, I can do grades, and so I'm going to say student must receive a grade to complete this activity. I could also let it say they have to receive a passing grade. Remember how we can set a grade to pass. Grade to pass right here. So if I set this at say 80, then I could use students must receive a grade to pass because this is a graded assignment. I can also change where they have to attempt it a certain number of times by a certain date, things like that. I'm going to save and return to course. Not everything is graded though, so this is just a page with content. So I can come in here in Settings and I can go down to Activity Completion, and I can either say let the students manually mark this, or even I can say must view because they don't have the options of grades here, so it knows this one just has to be viewed. And I'm going to go down and here's a group assignment, and for this one, instead of saying a specific grade, even though this is a graded piece, I'm going to go down to Activity Completion, and I'm going to say students can manually mark this one complete. So I've set some ones up. I want to go through and make those for all the ones that I want to do. And then I'm going to go under the More menu to Course Completion. And this is the Condition Activity Completion. So I want, and remember I've added conditions to 3, so I want to select those to add them to the course, save changes. And now to give myself kind of a place to look at this and the students to look, I'm going to add the course completion status block. So right now if I go in and click this, now for that quiz, the students have received some grades. So if I go and view course report, I see here 3 students have received grades that were passing, remember 80 or above, on the essay quiz, and so they get check marks, but nothing else is checked. If I go over as a student, now this student happens to have done the essay and they received a grade, they received a passing grade. They go down here to group assignment, and I can mark that as done, so I'm going to mark that one as done. Content, to do this one you must view it, so they have to look at it and go back, and now that will be listed as done as well. So now if I go back to my report and open that up, you can see this student has all of those across here. If I go back to the student view and look at their blocks, it will show the status for the course is complete because they've met all the requirements. Activity completion, 3 of 3. If I go to more details, it shows me what activities in the class were required and if I completed them and the date that I completed them. So again, this is a great way for the student to keep track of what they've done and the faculty. Now one drawback to this, if I go here under More, let's say I add a new activity and I go to completion and I want to add that activity to my list, you have to unlock the completion settings, and notice here it says user completion data will be lost, but watch this. So I'm going to unlock this. I can make some change here. Let's say that I take out page content. I hit save changes, and now I go and view the course report. Notice those grades are still there, including the one that was self-marked by the student. So you're not really losing anything. They just have to go through and do those.